Here's the first point. Number one, your business was designed to be a vehicle of worship. You can trust that God is behind your business, that God is behind your creative endeavor. When you're pursuing that thing, you feel closer to him. God is the father of all good gifts. Every good gift comes from him. And if you're in this place where you're like, man, when I play music, when I write, when I draw, when I'm working on a business plan, when I'm cooking up a recipe, when I'm doing those things, I actually feel the joy of the Lord. I feel closer to God doing those things than almost anything else on planet Earth. If you're in that position, I want to encourage you that it's quite likely that the reason you're feeling that way is because that is why God created you. He did create you to do those things. God, in his amazing redemption plan for humanity, wants to send out people who are going not to just go and plant churches, which is extremely important. We need that. But he wants people like you and like me to go out into the world and redeem culture, redeem things that the enemy has perverted, and to go and be an agent of change out in the world. And I'm telling you that when you're doing that and you're pursuing that endeavor, it's going to draw you closer to him if it's in his heart. If we allow a spirit of religiosity to enter in to keep us from operating in the very gifts that God's called us to walk in, not only is the world going to be robbed, but God is going to be robbed of that worship. I want you guys to be thinking about this guy named David. David in the Bible, you know him, King David. He was a warrior, he was a king, but he was also a poet. And he was a man who would write this amazing poetry, which we know through the Psalms. And every time that he was writing this psalm, I can imagine, especially the Psalms where he was writing stuff that was really, pulling out some frustrations in his heart or anger or fear. And he's just documenting what he's experiencing, and he's just pouring it out on paper. That is an act of worship. Him pursuing that creative gifting is an act of worship, because it's saying, God, I'm putting you first. I'm doing this as unto you and not to man. I'm bringing this to you as an altar, and it pleases God.